Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Sam. This is Bolt from the Blue. Here we read tarot cards, we read oracle decks, we read little T-tabs, we read anything with any divinatory possible purpose. Today, however, we will be starting with the Jungian Archetypes Oracle. This was a recent gift from my friend Candace. So we're going to check out what the archetypes have to say to you. The Warrior, number 11. Okay, I think we're wanting one more from here. The energy is very subtle today. Let's see. 12, the Herald. 11, the Warrior. 12, the Herald. I did a video thanking Candace for some of the decks that she got me, and in that video I said that this one is kind of like, pulling cards from this is kind of like walking through a contemporary art museum. I stand by that. "21, the Lover. The Warrior, the Herald, the Lover. More from here? Do you want to read from the book for these? Yes. Okay. Which one first? Okay, I'm thinking we're going to read for the Lover first. I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, I'm a sinner. Play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. Get my loving on the run. Okay, 21, the Lover. He sits among the most ancient divinities, brother of time, twin of eternity, master of virtue, who ascends industriously toward Olympus, and of fortune, two-faced goddess, unstable guardian of all wealth, the lover Eros. Oh, guys, that's so crazy. The myth of the golden apple and Eros. Anyway, I bought this yellow apple, and for some reason I brought it here for this. Old man and child in one, naive and expert in the things of the visible and invisible worlds. He binds and loosens, leaves and attracts. Reason, which governs the bright and clear things and the surest paths, is his enemy and companion at the same time. Don't you feel like you're in a contemporary art museum? You know, when you look at a piece in one of those museums and you're like, if you're like me, you're like, I don't think I understand it. Let me read the little plaque. And you read the little plaque and you're like, I understand it, if anything, less. But we're going to work through this. Let's see. Oracle of the mortal who asks for himself and his pleasure, he points to the goal that calls him, because every creature that inhabits the earth is what he loves, loving above all else what he is. Lover Eros unites those who sit on opposite sides of the tables, those whom the gods and mortals wanted far apart, light and shadow, spirit ascending towards the celestial ether, and matter descending, heavy and taking shape precipitating, winning in competition the slow and inexorable judgment. The lover without conditions and without blackmail understands and forgives, accompanies shadow, unstable and without form in the clear and symmetrical tower of Psyche. Love without conditions unites light and shadow. All right, guys, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I was asked to read this card first because it is a kind of bridge between the warrior and the herald. And I think that these are either two energies, like you are the warrior and someone else, some other energy is the herald, or these are two energies within you, the warrior and the herald. Lest you have to watch me get more confused in this beautiful museum, I'm going to just read the little slogan at the end of the warrior and the herald so we can get an idea of what these two energies are like without me doing too much navel gazing. The warrior, the law without humanity is a weapon for those who fear the fall. See, I say I'm going to read one sentence and it's going to be clearer, but the law without humanity is a weapon for those who fear the fall. What I get from that is people weaponizing systems to uphold the status quo or to maintain inhuman systems of governance or of justice, right? All right, let's see what the herald is before I go too deep on the warrior. The herald. The journey begins for those who cannot return. So I see unconditional love as bridging the gap between these two energies, one being more, in general, Apollonian and one being more Dionysian. So one being more systems driven, organized, hierarchical, and the other being more ethereal, interrelational and exploring other realms, like being able to, I just get with the Herald, speaking with the dead, or even like psychopomp kind of energy possibly. So, how do these work? I'm tempted to say that the lover here, because this is an unconditional love, this may be like a highest self coming into play. I understand that these are Jungian archetypes, and that's like it doesn't quite fit within the mold to throw the highest self, to label one of these as the highest self. I understand I'm mixing a metaphor there. I get it. But there's also a degree to which the warrior is a more egoic energy than the herald is. I actually don't know. I'm going to zoom out. When I'm having a hard time figuring out, and you can apply this to your own divination, when you're having a hard time figuring out what is trying to be said here, it is usually useful for me to zoom out and to say, like, okay, on a meta level, what is happening here? What I'm trying to do is apply a schema to these different archetypes, which may just be different aspects of yourself. And the temptation, especially from an energy like the warrior, would be to hierarchize them, to order them, to make some subservient to others. And the larger message may just be like, because you see me arranging these cards, right? And you see me putting some over others, trying to find a pattern. I think it's more like a modern art museum. It's more contemporary. There's less symmetry, right? Where these might just be parts of yourself, and none of them are necessarily better than the other. None of them are worse than the other. They're all aspects of your humanity and of larger unconscious energies, and all have something to bring to the table, perhaps. I feel like I'm still missing something. I cannot continue with these. I got to go on to other cards. Yeah, I got to go on to other cards here. This warrior is going to drag me down. This deck. Okay, we're going to hop into the Intuition Oracle. See what wants to be said from this deck. We got the Improviser here, card number 41. I effortlessly adapt to deal with unexpected circumstances. I don't know. You guys just watched me improvise a little bit with these three cards. I don't choose the decks that come out. And, typically for a more structured reading, I would want like a clearer energy at the beginning. But I think this card is to say, like, you know, when I look at these archetypes, like if they were vegetables, I wouldn't know how to combine them into a meal, you know, like elements in a fridge. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to make this digestible, right? This may be coming out to say that you've been given some energies that you don't understand how to combine. Yeah, okay, there it is. And you may be currently trying to make sense of this. And hopefully this reading can help. Let's see, do we need anything else from this card? Do you need anything else from this deck? Okay, we're going to pull some more from this deck. Let me just say the energy that's coming through today, very subtle. I'm getting very warm. It's like very ethereal, I want to say. It's having to go through a lot of layers of reality to reach you. And it may have to filter through some unusual energies. Yeah, like I'm having to mentally ground a little bit just as I do this. I pulled this one, number 29, the Romantics, and my first thought was like, this has to be a mistake. This isn't a love reading. Because we've had this very card in the context of some very steamy, a very steamy love reading in the past. More cards. Okay. Are you reading from the book? Okay. The Intuition Oracle. I really like the art in here. I don't always love the affirmations. Some of them are a little off base to my way of spiritual thought. But I find the art very, very interesting. It's very unique. 29, the Romantics. Yeah, like the affirmation here is, I allow romance to touch my heart every day. That is not my, that can be misinterpreted in so many ways. Reading any of this one? Okay, guys, so there's the art of the matter and the heart of the matter for each of these cards. I'm going to read a little bit of the art and then I think a bit more of the heart. So, at first we cannot see any stars in this most unique of night skies, but on closer examination, we see that there are a few dark stars to be seen in silhouette. This odd juxtaposition of planets and stars is actually more representative of the reality of the closeness of the planets and the great distance from the stars to Earth. This reflects the unusual clarity with which we see the real meaning of life when we are in love, a feeling that does not diminish but only grows when romance turns into a committed partnership. I was getting big like no 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 energy as I continued that sentence. So just take this part. This reflects the unusual clarity with which we see the real meaning of life when we are in love. And leave out the part about committed partnership. I'm getting a little bit of like the poet Rumi. The Sufi love poems. Sufi is the mystical branch of Islam, and Rumi was a Sufi mystic and poet, a phenomenal poet. His poetry is so beautiful. It's so achingly beautiful. They are love notes to the universe and to God. And he writes about the reed being plucked from the pond and made into a flute, like you see in this card. And how sad, or actually also in this card, look, in the Herald, there's a flautist coming out here. And this Archangel Gabriel style angel is also playing this big woodwind instrument. But he writes about the melancholy sound produced by the reed flute, as it feels separate from the ocean, separate from the pond, separate from, like, plucked from where it belongs. And this is largely interpreted as a metaphor for the soul, put into a human body and in some ways separated from the unity of Source, of God. But he also writes about this intoxicating love for the divine, for God, that is like, it's likened to wine drunkenness quite a bit. And I do really get that from this card, this like love drunk for the universe in all of its achingly beautiful symmetry and asymmetry. That feeling of looking up at the stars and one tear rolls down your cheek because you're just so grateful to be a part of this universe that is perceiving itself through you. I don't know. That's the energy. Let's see about the heart of the matter. Do we still need this? No? Okay. I covered it in my little poetry aside there. I'm going to stop trying to figure out how these energies go together. I'm going to stop for right now and just continue with the reading. More from this deck. Okay, we're going to head over to, this seems appropriate at this juncture with discussing all of these planets in the sky. We've got very ethereal energies coming through. This feels, it feels a little bit like a starseed kind of energy. It feels like, I'll just say like higher dimensional beings from other places. I'm getting confirmation for this. So this is a perfect deck. This is the 78 Tarot Astral deck. Tarot in space. So we've got aliens, we've got astral stuff, all kinds of things. This deck is really unique in that a different artist did the art for every single card. This was also the first tarot deck I ever owned, and it was a gift. A beautiful gift from the universe. Strength. I like this particular strength card. More from here. Want to read from the book? Let's do that. Cool. So I was saying how unique this deck is. And each of these cards has a divinatory meaning created by the person who sort of organized this deck. But they also have a description from the artist of what the artist was going for when they created the card, which I like a lot. It sounds like they were more or less sort of assigned the card to do. So it explains like what they were going for. But we're not going to read that part, apparently. The card's message. So this is from the deck's creator. Read this part. Okay, I'm getting a bit of back and forth. We will read the card story, and this is by the card's artist. Strength was challenging for me. While the symbolism speaks to me, it was not a card I would have picked for myself. Yeah, there you go. Was I good enough? Would I succeed? The answer was in the card itself. Strength is about confidence, poise, and trust in oneself and one's abilities. I wanted to stay close to the traditional symbols. A woman with flowers on her head, holding a lion's head in her grasp. I chose to represent a star pilot in her fighter gear, carrying her space helmet decorated as a roaring lion's head. She is a seasoned warrior, warrior card, who knows herself and shows both the confidence and the scars of many years of experience. She does not battle the lion. She is the lioness, the picture of true inner strength. It's an interesting energy, strength. The strength card is a warrior. But my understanding of the strength card is that she never has ruled the lion who sits docile at her side in most depictions. She's never, it's not like she conquered the lion. The lion loves her and she loves the lion. And the lion is usually interpreted as her lower self, her human self, her body, her lower chakras. You could even throw the shadow in there. So she's the warrior, but she rules and controls the lion through love. And with the herald, there's a little bit of like Pan Piper energy, you know, like the ability to move the beast with beautiful music, like to calm and control, not control nature, but move along with nature, with love, with beauty. This is a spread about improvisation and about sort of playing the cards you've been dealt. The author of The Artist was like, I don't know if I wouldn't have chosen this for myself. I don't know if I'll do a good job, but look at this card. Like, to my way of thinking, this art is amazing. What I'm getting is that someone here might feel like they are not up to the task, or they don't have the tools before them. It's like, how can I make something out of all this nothing? How can I do this on my own without a team? Right? And I think with this is big starseed energy, guys. I think with the spaceship off in the background there, in front of the moon, it's like you do have a team of support. You do have help. It's just very high vibrational, very ethereal, right? And doesn't feel maybe always very tangible to you. Like, Sam, okay, so I'm getting help from these like very intelligent, very high vibrational beings that are on my spirit team, or whatever, however you want to imagine this. My star family, right? But what does that translate to in the real world? Because all I'm being given are these mismatched, like oddball energies. But this love from the stars is deeply, deeply powerful. This otherworldly presence is something that not everyone has going for them. And it means that you can improvise and things will go well. Have faith that your improvisation is like the hidden piece of the puzzle. It's like you're looking at all your skills and you're like, none of these are skills. And this reading is coming out to say, oh, you've forgotten your key skill. It's improvisation, right? You can make anything work. And there's something being pointed out here that like these resources are actually more, you can make them into more because of how resourceful you are. And I don't mean necessarily going out and getting more resources. What I mean is just innovative uses for the ones that you've been given. Although, don't take that too literally. Someone here might need to get more resources. But you can find creative ways to do this, right? You are someone who can make more than something out of nothing. You can make beautiful art. Like something that pleases God out of nothing. You're a magician and you're extremely strong. With the warrior, it just feels like you've been through so much worse. So much worse. And there's a little bit of a reminder here about, in this one, it looks like her eye is completely missing from and has a big scar over it, one of her eyes. And in this warrior card, there's been a knife applied to her own face, right? Like there's just this energy of like, you have so many battle wounds, like so many scars. But there's so much beauty in what you've gone through, not least because it makes you this resourceful improviser. Okay, more cards from here? Any more at all? that's the message, guys. Yeah, no, that's it. I wanted to like tie it up with a neat bow, but I'm being told to leave it there. You are incredibly, incredibly innovative and intuitive, and you don't have to worry because you'll know exactly what to do and when to do it. Yeah, there it is there. Okay, guys, take really good care, and I'll see you in the next one.